What's up, guys? So today I wanted to talk about getting the audio controls to work on your steering wheel when you do your dash swaps. This is pretty much specific for the Super Duty dash swap. So if you got a 03 PT Cruiser, this is probably not the video for you. So, but my guys who are doing the dash swaps, I want to get this going, and this is, I guess, a little do-it-yourself video, how to put this in. I do sell this. I sell it for like 50 bucks. If you want to go ahead and buy your own, go ahead. This video will still help you get it installed, so that's what this video is for. I use it. I like this one. There are a couple other ones that are cheaper, but you have to program them, and they're kind of a pain in the ass. And then if you kill the batteries on the truck, you got to reprogram it, and they're just a pain in the ass. But this one I like. You just plug it in, hook power to it, it works every time. You don't have to program nothing. You know, install it and you're done. Never have to touch it again. So I've been using this one for over a year now. I have no problems. So I'm happy with it. Definitely I give it 5 stars if I had to review it. It does not work with the phone. The phone doesn't work because that works on a total separate circuit. Maybe later I'm going to try to find a different interface that can maybe control them both, but for me it's not really a big deal. I could just answer my phone and talk on it through the Bluetooth on the truck. But now we're past that. Let me go ahead and teach you how to install this. I'm not actually going to install it, I'm just going to show you how to do it, because there's really not much to it. Alright, so you open your box, you get the interface, you get the wiring harness, and then you get the extra little thing. I'm gonna tell you what this is for. And then these are just the extra wires I cut off. You can see right there. Those are the wires I definitely don't need. And so instead of having them just dangling around, just got rid of them. So, if you want, they have instructions on there. I don't know about you, but the reason I'm making this video is because I read all this and I had no idea what the heck I was looking at. It was just, I had no idea. But I figured it out. So this video, you know, I'm a visual learner, so that's what this video is for. You know, I can't sit still for 5 minutes. I read these instructions. I get to like second paragraph, and I'm thinking about what kind of wheels I want to put on my truck. You know what I'm saying? But all right, so I'm gonna show you how this works. So you got your steering wheel, you got the interface, and then you got the radio. This should work with pretty much every deck. I've put it on Kenwoods, Pioneers, and Alpines. I've never had a problem with it. So every stereo is a little different. That's why, depending on what you have, the instructions will help you with that, more specific. But basically how it's going to work is on the column on the clock spring wires. These 2 wires are your stereo control wires. You have a signal in and a signal out. And basically, this interface wants you to ground out the blue-white wire, so you can ground it out on the dash frame. There should be some ground wires on the column that you can use. So basically, it's getting a ground signal is how it's tracking all this. So what you're going to do is you got your signal coming in, and depending on which button you hit, depends on which resistor it clicks. And depending on that size resistor, it brings it through. So if you got a higher resistor here and a smaller one there, the interface knows which one you hit, and it knows what to tell the radio. So like if you hit seek up to go to the next song, the electricity flows through that resistor, and let's say that resistor drops the volts to like 3.5 volts. That current flows through the gray yellow wire and then to the white green, which is this one right here on the interface. So you're going to take the factory wire and splice it to this guy, that gray yellow wire, and then the interface is going to get that 3.5 volts, and it's going to be like, okay, dude wants me to go to the next song, hell yeah, brother. And then so it goes through here and then comes back out this black wire, and this is what you plug into the back of the stereo. So my Alpine plugged in no problem. So every stereo is a little different. You know, how many decks are there out there, you know, whether it be some Chinese aftermarket one or a Kenwood or whatever. But keep this in hand just in case you need it for your stereo. My Alpine didn't, but I think some Kenwoods and some Pioneers do. So that's where these instructions will come handy. So right here, radios, because some radios have a wire coming out the back where it says steering wheel remote, and it just has a wire like this coming out the back, and that's where this comes in handy. You're gonna tap this wire into the back of your stereo, and it'll tell you how to do it pretty much. Like right here, yeah, it says the single wire control is, you know, some Kenwoods need it, so that's what that's for. So you just plug that to the jack, splice this wire to the back of your stereo, and you're good to go. Now for the rest, you have these two power wires. You got your ground. You can ground that out anywhere. I tap these two wires to the exact same ones on the radio. And so what you're gonna do is obviously ground that out. Now this one needs to go to an accessory. Do not run it to a constant 12 volt because this will stay on, and then you're just draining a little bit of juice out of your truck for no reason, which I don't think you need to be doing. It probably doesn't take much current at all. It'd probably not kill the truck, but let's not waste power if we don't need to. So I tap this into the accessory 12 volt going into the radio. And on my 7.3, I think it's a black pink. I think some of the newer trucks, it's like a pink orange wire, I want to say. But if you're curious on what your accessory 12 volt wire is that you want to tap into, message me. I'll look it up, and I'll tell you what wire you should tap this into. So I just tap mine straight to the radio wires. I don't have any problems because this thing can't pull any current. So other than that, pretty simple. I don't think if you got any questions, let me know if you get stumped on anything, but I think it's pretty simple. You know, just hook up the power and accessory, hook this to the gray yellow wire, and plug it in the back of your stereo. It's pretty simple, and you don't have to program anything. Where do I mount this in the dash? What I do is I double side sticky tape it, and I got a dash sitting over here. So the dash is sideways obviously, but this is where your radio sits right here, and then you got your AC controls. But what I do is on this big metal bracket right here is, let's see, there's a lot of surface area right here, and I double side sticky tape it just right here because the back of the stereo is right here behind this thing. So I know my dash is sideways, but yeah, that's all I do. And then I feel like it's a good spot because it's in the middle of the column, in the middle of the radio, so the wires can stretch pretty good. And this aux wire is pretty long, so it'll almost go from the radio to the column. So other than that, let's see. I have people ask me what stereo I have on my truck. I have this Alpine 208U on my 7.3. I like it. It's freaking awesome. It did cost a left nut, so just be aware of that. Now I think there's like a Chinese version of this called Join, a couple $100. I've never used it, but I use this Alpine, and I totally worth it. It's got a 3D GP. I don't know. The thing will find a restaurant. It'll find you a strip club. It does whatever you want, and I really enjoy it. So, but if you have any questions on other stuff, you know, I just put in 2008 Ford F-250 Lariat on their website, which is accesinterfaces.com. And then once you hit this, hit get parts. Why isn't it working? Get parts. Oh, right here. You can download the instructions. So that's how you get to the instructions. So, but it'll tell you all right here pretty much everything I told you. Ground out the black wire, and then, you know, hook up the red to accessory. The white green goes to pin 18, which is right here, which is that gray yellow wire I was telling you about. And then hook up the jack to the thingy-majig, the jack to the back of the stereo. I think where I got confused on here, it doesn't tell you what to do with the blue-white wire. It doesn't say anything on the blue-white wire. But ground that sucker out. Oh, yeah, it says right here. Pin 19 and the black wire you both ground out. and 19 blue white. So that's all for today. Got any questions, let me know. I hope this helps some of you guys out. I do sell these, or you can buy it yourself. But yeah, hope you all have a good day. Hope this video helps. Adios.